I don't feel like I have a reason to vlog anymore. Yet when I am like watching YouTube videos and watching my friends vlog and seeing their lives, I so much miss being a part of that community, feeling like we're sharing in each other's lives, getting to spend time with each other even though we're not talking to each other, we don't live even in the same country. But something about posting vlogs and then watching my friends' vlogs makes me just feel like we're closer to each other, and I really miss that feeling. And I also miss documenting my life a little bit. I have such complicated feelings around vlogging, and I feel like I have to have a point or a reason to it, like as a graduate student, or I don't even know, because I've been doing it as a student for so long that I don't know what else it would be. And my life is so quiet right now that I don't really know what to vlog or what to say, but I have had some requests about vlogging life after grad school, and I miss vlogging myself, so I'm gonna try to do it again. I have no plans. It's Tuesday. I just picked up the camera in this exact moment. I'm working my day job right now, so I'm going to be sat here at my desk for many hours, but let's do it. Let's see what this is about. Let's see what happens. And yeah, welcome to me trying to return to vlogging, and welcome to life after grad school. I gotta get to work, but I will catch up with you guys in a little bit.
Many hours later.
So tired. I've just finished up my day job for the day. My partner is home from school and he is doing homework in the living room, so I usually hang out in here to try to not disturb him while he is working on stuff. He's in a master's program right now, but I thought I would just catch you guys up a little bit on how the day went, and I have a couple of topics that I'd like to talk about as I vlog this week. First things first, I clocked out from my day job, which, let me tell you, This is a survival job. It's not a job that I intend on keeping forever, although it is a job that I've had for a long time. And I really don't know what has changed. I do know what has changed, but I used to work this job back in high school, and then we went remote during the pandemic, and they've just kept me on ever since then. And they've been very kind to me and letting me, you know, work the hours that I need to work when I'm in school, while I am looking for other positions and other, you know, jobs that are a little bit more closely related to my field, which is fashion studies. Which, by the way, if you don't know, hello, I'm Katie. I have a master's degree in something called fashion studies that I got at Parsons School of Design in New York City. I graduated this past May, and then I moved to the middle of nowhere, Illinois, for a variety of reasons. But we'll get to that later. Anyways, this job, it's basically just a survival job until I can find something else. And then I do also work for Accepted, which I'll also get into more later, but I just want to talk about this job real quick. I have so many gripes, and especially as a neurodivergent person, about having a 9 to 5. Technically this is an 8 to 5 because we don't get a paid lunch, but I digress. I have no problem working many hours and working hard and working long, obviously. Otherwise I wouldn't have multiple degrees, I wouldn't have written a thesis, I wouldn't be working for Accepted. But my problem with this job is that every hour of my time is so managed that I am just exhausted by the end of the day. Like, the way that they want me to work, and this is not the way that they've always asked me to work. The thing is, we have some new managers. They give me a handful of tasks, and they want me to work on each task only for 1 hour before switching to the next task. And you might be thinking to yourself, you know, that's not so bad, right? Like, at least it's clearly defined what it is I'm supposed to be doing and when I'm supposed to be doing it. But if you have ADHD like I do, task switching is really difficult. And to have to switch between tasks that often throughout a day, it's exhausting for me. I'll also say that I really thrive when I have autonomy over my time. So being forced to work in a specific manner and being forced to work on certain tasks for a certain amount of time is really counterintuitive to my brain. Say, for example, I'm working with Accepted, which is an online platform for literally anybody who wants to, have a foot in the world of academia, but particularly geared at non-traditional students and scholars like first generation and transfer students, etc., people who are returning to school. When I work on things for Accepted, I basically have full reign to work on it whenever I want, however I want, as long as I'm meeting the deliverables. I did not do this wrong. No, I did. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm distracted, so I'm making mistakes. And that is far more conducive to me and my little brain and how I work. I love to work essentially in like really big focus blocks for an extended period of time on one thing. So being forced to move from thing to thing constantly, by the end of the day, I'm just so freaking tired. It's also a very tedious job. So there's not a lot of like creative expression. It's the same thing over and over again, which is really hard for me to focus on. So I do take my Vyvanse on the days that I have this day job, and I tend to get my Vyvanse crash like right around the time when I'm supposed to be like clocking out. So overall, I have to say that it's not an ideal situation, and I am not handling it with a lot of grace. I finish these work days and then, go to my partner and sometimes even have like a bit of a restraint collapse, like tantrum or breakdown, where I say like I can't keep doing this because it feels like sandpaper on my brain for 8 hours. That's just not a fun way to live, especially when I've had the privilege of, the last however many years of education where sure, I have to be in class for a certain amount of hours, but it's scattered through the week, and then when I choose to do my homework and how I choose to do my homework is up to me, right? And how I choose to do my thesis and that kind of stuff. I just don't have a lot of autonomy in this job, and I find it really frustrating, and I find it really unsustainable. Luckily, I only have to work at a couple of days a week, but I then finish this work and I want to go do Accepted work or YouTube or literally anything else that I'm passionate about, and I simply don't have the energy for it. But it is not the only kind of day that I have. I do have days that are open and free for me to do what it is that I will. And in those days I've been working on YouTube videos, I've been working on Accepted projects, and I've been doing something else that you probably will already know by the time this vlog goes live, which has been teaching, which I will try to reflect on a little bit more later. But that is like the biggest first thing that I've been kind of trying to navigate, negotiate, survive through post-graduate school, is the fact that I do have a survival job right now and that I just find it really draining. But I do get a lot of pleasure and value out of YouTube right now, out of working at Accepted, out of getting to teach, although that's not a permanent position. So I do have those things going for me. But yeah, I don't mean to be a bummer, but that is the reality of my life right now. So that is that update. I'm done with work, and now I am going to go see what my partner is up to. We need to finish putting up the Christmas tree, and I have some laundry to deal with, so just a little bit of a cozy evening in, and we'll probably watch a movie, and I will keep working on my knitting project. It's been a long time since I've vlogged, and it feels a little funny. I know I made tea this morning, but it did not come out very good, and I don't have any decaf coffee at home, and I don't like to take my ADHD meds when I've had caffeine, or like vice versa. I don't like to drink caffeine when I've had my ADHD meds, so grabbed a decaf cappuccino from my favorite coffee spot. It is windy out here, and a breakfast bagel or breakfast sandwich because I haven't really eaten anything today. And it's snowing, and I get so excited every time that it snows. There's snow stuck to, oh my god, look at this little snowflake. Do you see it? You can actually see like the little crystal structure of the snowflake. Oh my god, that's so cute. Okay, I'm obsessed with the snow. It has yet to get old for me, and I've lived in a climate where it snows for like 2.5 years now. Anyways, I'm on my quick break at my day job, grabbing a coffee, grabbing a bite to eat, gonna head back and keep working. I've also been watching Kate's new vlog, which you should definitely go and watch. She's doing like her own version of Vlogmas right now. And yeah, that's what's been keeping me company. I've also been watching a newer YouTube channel that I've just come across called Cinema Knits, and I've been really getting back into knitting recently, which is totally not the purpose of this vlog, but I'm just feeling chatty. I'm in a relatively good mood. I feel energetic right now. I slept well for the first time in a long time. And the last thing before I go and get back to work that I need to show you is look at my Accepted merch. Accepted Society officially has merch now. I'm very excited about it. There's a plethora of things to choose from, but I picked this one because it has a message on the sleeve. It says progress over, or is greater than, perfection, which I know is something that all us academics struggle with, but I need to get back to work, so I'm gonna head back and I'll see you at home. Okay, and then I need your advice on this. We've talked about it in the past, so I'm just throwing all these things out here, and then I would love your help just kind of organizing them, because I'm like, just pick one and go with it, and then my brain is like, ah, you know? This lighting sucks. This lighting is bad. Not only does it look bad, it also feels bad because I am an anti-overhead light girly. Hello, I have finished the day job work for today and for the week. Yay! I only work 2 days a week at that job right now. I was working a little bit more before I started teaching, but they've asked me to reduce my hours, which sucks in that I would like to be making the money, but it's also great because I don't really like the job. So you win some, you lose some. It definitely gives me more time to do other things, like apply for other jobs and hopefully get a job that I did apply for that would be also twice a week out of the house, alongside, you know, everything I'm doing with Accepted and all that kind of stuff, which is something I haven't really had the chance to talk about yet. But I'm just taking a short break, or have been taking a short break. Can't really see it, but I've been watching Cinema Knits on YouTube, and if you're a knitter like me, and you like another ADHD spicy girly who also knits, I would recommend checking out her channel. I'll leave it in the link, or I'll leave a link to her channel in the description below. But I've just been watching her, and now that I'm done with the workday, my partner has school in a little bit, and I'm going to use the time that he's in school to work on a YouTube video. Should I be using it for chores? Probably, but I'm not going to. And then when he's done, I'm gonna pick up some dinner for the two of us, and we'll have another cozy evening by the Christmas tree, probably hang out, watch a movie, and I will be working on my knitting project. But this is largely what my life has looked like ever since graduating. There was a big transition over the summer where James and I were packing up our apartment in New Jersey. We were getting married in California. We were staying with his parents in Missouri, and then we were moving to Illinois. So most of my summer was just like working where I could, and then also packing, and this like wild transition. And then in August I was rehired at Accepted, so over the last couple of months I've also been like figuring out what my role is at Accepted and what work needs to be done and what projects we're working on. And now that it's December and the end of the year, I think we have a better idea of what is happening with my role going forward. So in the new year, I am excitedly going to be working on the symposium again, and starting to work on some product launches that we've discussed. So I'm really excited about those things. Something that I haven't talked a ton about is like that transition over the summer, and I guess like overall the like point of the vlog is you know, talking about the transition from being a student to like not being a student anymore. Let me tell you, it's been a rough one. It's been good and bad for a lot of different reasons. I know I keep saying that I'm going to get into it later, but for now I really want to focus on editing a YouTube video, and we can maybe pick this conversation back up when I get cozy in bed for what I'm calling granny time lately, which is where I get all wrapped up in like blankets and scarves and hats and to sit in my bed and knit while I watch YouTube. Because that's what my life is these days. It's just too cold to do anything else in the Midwest in the winter. But yeah, editing a YouTube video, this is something that I have really struggled to do over the last couple of years, I guess. I don't know, my relationship with YouTube is so up and down, but I essentially just like gave up on it in the summer of 2023 through the end of 2023, and then have been trying to slowly pick back up on it, and I am starting to feel a little bit more confident in the direction that I want to take my YouTube channel. I burnt out so hard when I was in grad school, not like giving my brain the space that it needed to be itself, and pushing myself really hard to do all of these things to appear like normal or to make myself think that I'm good enough by constantly working, and you know, that's not a very sustainable approach. I'm trying to figure out what a sustainable approach to YouTube looks like, and so yeah, that's a lot of nonsense that doesn't really make, it's all just kind of like all over the place, but it is late and I am tired. But anyways, I'm gonna work on this YouTube video for a little bit and then go on with my evening, and then the rest of the week you get to see what it looks like when I have kind of like semi-structured time, because I will be doing some work things, but for the most part it's up to me how and when I want to do them, unlike my day job. So I'm looking forward to the next couple of days of the week. I know because class is gonna start soon.
Random maintenance equipment to get to the ECAT.
Bye! Can you say camera shy? Good morning. It is Thursday. It is finals week for my students, so I am not teaching right now, and they don't have finals in my class, so I'm essentially done except for submitting final grades. And my new schedule, I only work Tuesdays and Wednesdays for my day job, so from here until Monday evening, my time is my own, except for working for Accepted, but I kind of get to pick and choose when I want to do that. But we are joined here today by my partner, James.
Hello.
And I have him here because I just felt like I wasn't articulating those things very well, so I thought I would bring James into the conversation to offer his perspective. So James, interview style, what has the transition been like for me from your perspective about graduating from my master's program, moving, transitioning to work life, all that good stuff?
Oh, I mean, as with any transition, there are challenges. It's rough. I think you're paralleling a lot of the things I went through when we moved to New York. I mean, moving is challenging. Moving to a new place is challenging. And, you know, when you're the person who's not in school or anything, you know, there's definitely a finding of purpose and how to do things and getting in a routine. And, you know, leaving the academic space once you've graduated can be complicated. I mean, overall, you've done very well with it, but they're all sort of just parts of a move and parts of doing stuff like that, is you kind of have to find your own rhythm. And it can be rough and it can suck, and there's always ups and downs, but I think you've handled them all very well.
Thank you. I never feel like I'm handling any of it well. I'd especially say that I used to think that school was like the reason why I didn't do very good at things like handling chores and keeping organized and that kind of stuff. But I think not having school as an excuse has kind of revealed that that is in fact what?
ADHD?
Indeed.
So that's definitely been a huge whoa. That's also been a big challenge is I think I haven't had the time to process the fact that I have ADHD because I got diagnosed while I was still in school and then went immediately into a graduate degree. So that's definitely been like really on my mind right now.
Always on her mind.
Which is why I've been making more ADHD content lately. I don't really intend to become like an ADHD content creator, but that's just kind of what's happening because I am constantly thinking about it. But I still want to find some balance with my content with fashion, that kind of stuff.
You got a little tail sticking out there in the front.
What? Oh, that's okay. It's my scarf. I made this myself, which also I'm becoming a knitting content creator. Basically, I hope my channel will become like a hyperfixation station where whatever I'm enjoying right now is the thing that my channel becomes. But yeah, finding a job has been tough. But I really like where we've moved to. How do you feel about moving to Illinois?
Oh, I mean, it very much reminds me. I grew up in Missouri, and Illinois is close enough. So it definitely feels like kind of like the environment that I grew up in, which is kind of fun in its own ways. I mean, it's very different from New York, obviously. I mean, rural Illinois and New York City don't have many similarities, but trains, actually, as it turns out.
Trains.
Yeah. Well, we have a train tracks through our backyard, so.
Which is not fun for me.
I mean, but like the noise of New York kind of prepares you for dealing with loud, sudden noises like that. So, I mean, you learn things everywhere you live.
That's you always have some positive takeaway from situations, which I appreciate because I'm like, oh man, I fucking hate that train. I also think that the town that we lived in is very similar to my hometown, aside from the weather, because it is like the high here is the low in California right now. So yes. So it's very cold and I'm adjusting to that. And also I think there's a little bit of seasonal affective disorder going on, coupled with the fact that I do in fact take antidepressants for depression. So that's been an interesting challenge. I don't know. I'm trying really hard not to be a downer on my channel, but basically I am always a downer because I am always undergoing changes and transitions and challenges.
You're not always a downer. You just wax very poetic about these things.
Yeah. I was once having a conversation with his mom about, I was watching Half-Blood Prince in theaters, Harry Potter, and the scene where Dumbledore dies. And I was like, 16, 17 when that movie came out? And I remember having the thought, this is where my childhood dies. And I told that to your mom, and she paused, turned around and looked at me and said, you've always been very meta, haven't you, Katie? So if that gives you some insight into why the tone of my videos is always like this.
You can't help yourself.
I can't help myself. And also like it hasn't always been safe for me to be my goofy self, you know? So like trying to show that is a little more difficult. But I was just pacing, but I do think that I don't have much more to say about this topic. So we're going to go get a cup of coffee. We're going to go back home and warm up, get a cup of coffee. I have some work to do at the coffee shop, and then, yeah, that's my day.
Bye.
And that essentially brings us to the end of this vlog. I think something that I was trying to say but didn't know, or maybe didn't have the confidence to say, is that I'm feeling kind of lost. I'm not sure what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to be doing, how to do it, all of those really big feelings that you get after graduating when you've been a student for so long. So I'm simply trying to figure it out, and although this vlog is a little old by the time that I'm publishing it was filmed maybe a month ago, I'm still feeling all of these same feelings. I've only just started to sort out how I might want to start approaching life after grad school, and let me tell you, as a neurodivergent person, as somebody with ADHD, it's really difficult. I have such different needs and a different way of approaching life that can't simply be fulfilled by a 9-to-5 job. So I'm really just trying to figure out how to bring together all of the different things that give me meaning and purpose in life, including knitting. And I'm sure this will come up in future videos, but one of the things I have loved so much about knitting is how much of a purpose it has given me and comfort it has brought me during this really difficult transition and time in my life. But that is for another video. I just want to quickly shout out before the video ends, thank you so much for 5,000 subscribers. This is truly a milestone I never thought I would hit, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. thank you so much. I have plans to celebrate that 5,000 mark, so stick around if you're not subscribed yet. Subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.